Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good evening, everyone, or shall I say good morning, good afternoon, or good day to the rest of the world, especially to Belize. Hi, good morning to good morning to everyone in Belize. All right, so welcome back to Pageant Mag Philippines live sessions. Yours truly, once again, Franzuli is your pageant correspondent. So we are live simultaneously on our Facebook page and, of course, on our YouTube channel. So we are also, if you are new by the way to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification, and also do follow and like our Facebook page for more pageant updates. We are also on Instagram and TikTok, so please do follow us on all our social media platforms. Now, guys, if you have any questions for our guest for tonight, please don't hesitate to drop your questions down below at the comment section. Right, so I believe that you are all very much excited, as I do, to meet our guest for tonight. So, without further ado, guys, our esteemed guest is a Miss Earth 2021 candidate hailing from the Caribbeans. So please do help me to welcome our guest with a virtual applause, the pride of Belize, Destiny Evelyn Wagner. Hello, Destiny.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. And how are you too?
I'm amazing. I can't complain.
Good. And it's morning. It's early morning in Belize right now. So, how's the weather right there?
Well, the town that I'm from is Punta Gorda, and it literally
Mhm.
rains every night.
Wow.
So right now it's 6 a.m., so the rain is kind of slowing down now, but it
Mhm.
rains a lot.
A lot, yeah. So you're because you're part of the Caribbeans actually, and this season is basically somehow it's rainy in the Caribbean right now.
Yeah, it's rainy season right now. So
Mhm.
specifically where I'm at, we get a mixture of 50-50 of rain and then lightning. So it's literally lightning all the time. But I've like grown to
Ooh.
it now, so it's harder for me to sleep when there's no rain or lightning.
You know what? I really don't. I really have fear on lightning. So I hope I'm not in the Caribbean right now. Anyways, anyways, Destiny, we have no further information about you. So would you like to introduce yourself to us right now, especially to our viewers?
Yes, of course. I'm Destiny Wagner, Miss Earth Belize 2021. I am 25
Mhm.
years old and I'm a certified open water diver. I recently got certified last year. I have a marketing degree from Pace University in New York, and I currently am an author and a young entrepreneur as I have a small smoothie shop located in my town.
Wow, at 25, you're already somehow a successful woman. So I say, if I may say, a very accomplished woman, right?
I, I try. I definitely try my best. A lot of more work
Hmm.
that needs to be done though.
And you mentioned earlier that you finished marketing in New York, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So, are you also applying that in your career, right? As a career right now?
Yes, of course. So, marketing, having a degree in marketing, everything needs to be promoted and advertised, or else you really won't make compensation. So, literally, every business needs someone to help them market it. So, since I'm an entrepreneur, I'm able to apply that to my life and help my business and ultimately help myself.
Oh, that's great. So, how's your business going on?
It's so far so good. However, because of the pageant, I definitely closed down for a couple of weeks because everything was happening so fast, and I really wanted to give this pageant my full attention.
Wow, that's great. That's so sweet of you. By the way, can you walk us through on how you've become a Miss Earth Belize?
Yeah, of course. So it just kind of chose me in a way. I was
Appointed.
Yeah, I definitely was appointed. I didn't see it coming, but I had been unconsciously preparing for this like my entire life ever since I was a child. This is what I was meant to do, be Miss Earth Belize. So I was appointed.
Mhm.
Um, the previous queen, she did resign, but I think there's like a misconception for some reason within pageantry, specifically in my country, that if you get replaced or if you lose a pageant, that people automatically assume that there's a rivalry or there's invisible beef that's there. But that was definitely not the case at all, as she was super supportive of me and I'm supporting her and her future endeavors as well.
Mhm. So I won't be asking what I won't be asking the reason why you would have to replace her, right? So, what I'm going to ask, by the way, is that prior to getting a point or to getting an appointment for me from Miss Earth Belize,
Mhm.
have you been joining Miss Earth as I mean, have you been joining pageantry as well?
Like my previous history in pageantry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did my first pageant in 2016 at Miss Caribbean USA. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, so I always laugh about it. Oh my gosh, to find those footages would, oh my God, be such a laugh for everybody in the pageantry world. But I did win Miss Congeniality and Miss Photogenic.
Wow,
um,
that's great. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I mean, I had no training, so the only thing that I could do was just like pose and then be my personality. Um, but then my second pageant was in 2019. I competed at Miss Universe Belize, and I also competed again in 2020, and I placed first runner up both times.
And that's still for Miss Universe Belize, right?
Hmm.
Wow, and that's an achievement. You can definitely, right? So, and congratulations for first off for winning first runner up at Miss Universe Belize in 2020, and now you are Miss Earth Belize 2021, right? Um, so how did you accept it? What was your reaction when this was offered to you?
I was originally thinking, oh, okay, next year, like absolutely, because I had no idea at the time that the previous queen had resigned. Um,
Mhm.
but then they're like, oh no, this year. I was like, oh my gosh, like everything was just happening so fast. But of course, it's an honor to represent my country, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
But before that, do you already have any idea about Miss Earth?
I had just had an idea based off of the previous delegate, so I was just supporting her, following her journey. I didn't really know too much of the structure of the pageant because this is my first time, like within like being involved within the organization and the franchise.
Plus, this time it's gonna be an online competition. So,
Yeah,
I believe this is gonna
absolutely.
be a little different, and of course, a little somehow struggling, right?
Yep. And I'm
It's
learning.
challenging.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about myself as well as my makeup skills because everyday
Mhm.
makeup is so different from your Zoom makeup. Like I didn't know there had to be different types of makeup, but for virtual, like it's so important about your like to do your makeup right. And I'm still kind of learning a little bit, so that's kind of been the most difficult part thus far.
Well, you'll definitely learn how to do it the best way, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so let me just try to take a look on this. Okay, so of course I won't have to ask you anymore your reasons for joining Miss Earth, right? So, however, we're going to play Have You Ever Had? That's gonna be part of getting to know you as well. Will that be fine with you?
Yeah, of course.
All right then. So whenever you're ready.
I'm ready, Judge.
All right, good. So, Destiny, Destiny, I just want to ask: Have you ever had gotten in trouble at school or at church?
Do I? If I have, I put my finger down.
Oh, you just have to say yes or no, and then you
Oh,
have to
okay.
explain. Mhm.
Okay, then yes, yes, I have gotten in trouble. I used to get in trouble a lot in school when I was younger for talking. So it would be, oh, great student, very smart, and then at the end, talks too much. So, but I've
But
always been very like chatty, and I remember my teachers used to move me from beside my friends in hopes that I would talk less and sit me next to someone who was more timid and more shy. And then later on throughout the year, they realized that now that timid person is no longer shy, and they're talking more than me. But it
so
was a good school.
you're turning shy classmates or shy friends or your shy classmates into someone like talkative.
Yeah, social. And I have a good friend of mine in California, and we always joke about this because when we first entered the class, he just would not talk at all, and I would just pick his shoulder, hey, like, and then throughout the remainder of high school, chit chat, chit chat, chit chat, chit chat.
That's great. Yeah, I really love someone who really chats a lot. Anyways, have you ever had drunk a soda or a soda pop, then you laughed and had it come out your nose?
I definitely have. I know for a fact I have. I'm just trying to remember exactly where, but it has definitely happened. Since I can't remember where, I'm going to say it probably wasn't somewhere important, which is good. So most likely it's probably been in the comfort of my house or with my friends.
And how was it? How was the feeling? Because I've never experienced that yet.
You never experienced that? It usually
No.
happens when you're drinking something and then someone says something crazy or super funny and you're just like, oh my God. And then it just comes out of your nose.
And that's acid, right?
Yeah, yeah. But it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's not something that I like anyone should go out their way to accomplish. It's just something that
Mm-hmm.
just kind of happens naturally.
Mm-mm. All right. There you go. So, have you ever had regifted or recycled a gift?
I have. I definitely have.
Mm-hmm.
And my previous job before I opened up my smoothie shop, I was working in New York City, and we have, I want to say they call it something like an elephant gift or something like that. And everyone brings in a gift, and they pass it around, and you take home the gift. I think I got a box of chocolate
Uh
or a
huh.
board game, and I definitely recycled it because it wasn't really something that I needed. And as the holidays approach, there's a lot of people that have to get gifts, so I did recycle that gift.
That's nice. I hope I was the one also who received. I was the one who received that kind of gift. That I mean, chocolates.
I'm not too
Yeah.
big on sweets. I'm actually not too big on sweets.
Really? I'm
Yes.
actually the right person who loves sweet. I'm actually the right person who should receive that gift.
Yes. I'm
Anyways, so all right, let's move on to our next question. Have you ever had your cell phone rung at an embarrassing moment?
Have I ever had my cell phone ring at an embarrassing moment? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had my cell phone ring in the middle of tests, and I've had my cell phone ring in church, and that was pretty. It wasn't embarrassing. Well, it was embarrassing for my mother, but for me, not so much. It's just more like click, click, click.
Hmm. Oh, by the way, let me just remind everyone that you may drop your questions down below if you have any questions for Destiny. All right, so let's continue, Destiny, on this. Okay. Hmm. Destiny, have you ever had paid for a stranger's meal or drink without them knowing it was you?
Yes, I have. When I was staying in California, there's a huge homeless population there, and it's so unfortunate what's happening with like within the states. But my mom does have a nonprofit organization that is in California and Belize. Well, we have a nonprofit organization, so the one that we focus on in California is our feed-in program, which is basically a ministry in which we do feed the homeless people. And when I go out with my friends, I try to lead by example. So if there's someone outside of the place that we're at, I always make sure to do what I can if I have the means to do so.
Wow. That's so sweet of you, Destiny. All right. So, how about this one, Destiny? Have you ever had made up a story to get out of a traffic ticket?
No, I have not because I've never had a traffic ticket ever in my life.
Wow. So
Oh,
you must be a good driver.
no, I just don't drive. So if you want to avoid traffic tickets, you just don't drive. I can drive, so I do have a license, but I'm someone who prefers to be chauffeured or like to be in the passenger seat or the back seat.
Mhm.
After living in New York City, my first job was driving, and I just had like anxiety. Like it was so much traffic, and I like to cruise. So if I am gonna drive, I'm taking the back streets. You will not catch me on the freeway. You will not catch me on the highway. Like back streets only.
That's nice, huh? Hi, by the way, to Yuji de
Yeah,
Gracia Diaz.
thank you.
Hi, you look gorgeous, he said. And yeah, Dandy Janice Herrera. Hello, Dandy. I hope you want to join us, Dandy. All right. Yeah, by the way, Dandy Janice Herrera is also my partner here to co-host actually some interviews. So I hope he'll be joining us tonight. Hi, Danny, beautiful and lovely. Yeah, she is very lovely and beautiful. Right, let's continue. Let's continue. Um, Destiny, have you ever had sung in the shower or on the toilet?
Absolutely. I like it's a part of my routine at this point. Um, I love karaoke, so sometimes I rehearse
Oh,
my karaoke songs in the shower or on the toilet. But it definitely depends on what mood I'm in, and then I realize once I step out of the bathroom, my voice does not sound the same like at all. So it kind of just ends
hmm.
there.
Well, maybe can you just give us a sample or a line of that of your favorite song rather?
Yeah, of course. And I will say karaoke is for fun, so you do not actually go to a karaoke place if you really can sing because it defeats the purpose. So, the song that I usually sing it would probably be like Valerie by Amy Winehouse. Are you familiar with the song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I am not, again, guys, I am in no means a professional singer. This is just for giggles and fun. And well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. Okay,
That's nice. You know what? I love Amy Winehouse. You know.
oh my God, I adore her. So her songs are just beautiful. Definitely a good choice.
Yeah, and great, huh? Great voice, anyway. How about this? How about this? Destiny, have you ever had spied on your neighbors back in New York?
No, no, absolutely not. New York, you definitely don't want to get caught spying on a New Yorker. Okay. Yeah, definitely don't recommend. Definitely don't recommend that. But for the most part, the buildings that I lived in were pretty like the halls were pretty narrow. But I barely saw my neighbors. Everyone's busy. Everyone has their life. So when I'm coming in, they're going out. So no.
Never. Hmm. How about this one? Have you ever had broken something like a window and ran away?
No, I have not. I feel like I'm very cautious when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think when's the last time I broke a glass that
Mm-hmm.
fell, but I don't run away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it's just not my personality to run away from something like that. But if I did break a window, which I haven't yet, and I don't plan on
Mm-hmm.
it, but I don't think I would run away from it.
Aww. Hmm. All right. How about this one? Have you ever had worn the same underwear 2 days in a row?
Yes, and this is
Oh.
why. I live on a farm. I do live on a farm. I'm back and forth between my house in town and then my house in the farm. So sometimes it's hard to take a shower because of the rain, like because of the rainy season. And because it's always raining and I didn't want to get sick and there's no hot water as we don't have electricity there. So I have had to wear the same set of clothes because then sometimes I get stuck on the farm too. And my intention was to stay one day. And the next thing I know, I end up staying the night because of the time, especially now in my country because of curfew. We have a very strict
Mhm.
curfew and it takes about two,
Design.
yeah, so it takes about 2, 3 hours to come back. So if we end up having a late day at the farm, then I have no choice but to stay there in the clothes that I came in.
Oh, very reasonable.
Hmm. It's life. I mean, it happens. We all have been there. There's no shame.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I guess this is gonna be the last question to be asked. That I'm going to ask rather. Have you ever had gotten lost at an amusement park or on a vacation?
Yes, so many times. I'm a solo traveler. So I remember my first trip to France and I got lost a million times. And people were always saying, oh, like it's going to be hard to ask for directions in France because of the language barrier. But
Yeah.
I was lost. I literally, they spoke like a majority of the people were able to communicate with me and speak English to me. And
Mhm.
and then I didn't even realize that I wasn't lost because I ended up making friends with them and they would give me recommendations and we would just hang out along the way. So it was a blessing in disguise.
instead of instead of getting lost, instead of getting lost rather, then you just go with somebody else
Yep. And then,
to to hang out. You just hang out with somebody else, right?
yeah. I was by myself, so it just made sense, and it was fun. It's a good story to tell.
Yeah, I think that's actually one thing that I also like, traveling alone, because you
Yeah,
don't have to worry with somebody else that you're going with, right?
I absolutely agree. What countries have you been to?
Oh, I've been around Asia.
Oh, awesome! I have yet to make
Yeah.
it to Asia yet, so I'm looking forward to going.
Actually, one of um my how shall I say, a bucket list on top of my bucket list is actually Brazil or somewhere in Central America.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I haven't been to Brazil either, but I'm scheduled to go to a wedding there soon, so cross fingers.
Oh, actually, my friends are actually inviting me to go there because I have Brazilian friends actually.
Mm, makes
Mhm.
yeah, it makes sense.
I hope we get to see there. I hope we get to meet
Yes, I
in
hope so.
Brazil. Anyways, thank you so much for your honesty, Destiny. I really appreciate your honesty, and I really hope that this would also help everyone to get to know you, because you've opened your life to us. All right, so, all right, guys, if you have any questions, please do drop your questions down below. All right, so there you go. We only have Steel, Dundee, Strera, and Yoji. Hi, Yoji. If you have questions, Yoji, please do drop your questions. Help me in this interview. Anyways. All right. So, Destiny, I just wanted to ask. Of course, we know that when you are joining Miss Earth, one of the basically the principal platform is, or advocacy is actually an environment. So, um, what has been on your mind when you this was offered to you?
Well, I just wanted to use it as a platform to spread awareness and to continue to advocate for what I've already been advocating for, and that is
Mhm.
sustainability. But also now that just became a certified diver, I get to see the effects of what like our actions and how it affects our biodiversity in the aquatic system. So to me, that was the first thing that automatically came to my mind. Like, yes, a bigger platform for me to spread awareness of our coral reefs.
All right. So, so you're making use of your skills as a diver, as a diver,
Hmm.
to somehow help out, right? The
Correct.
environment. So, from your experience, or from based from your experience, right? So, something like what have you seen changes? What changes have you seen in the environment since pandemic?
I feel like the changes have fairly been good changes in the environment because humans have been locked up. Like we've been on
Mm-mm.
lockdown, so that means think like the trees are able to grow. No one's cutting them down because hey, can we follow you on all social media? Oh yay, thank you. Of course you can follow me. Sorry, I got distracted. I get dis-
Sorry.
I get this. I do get distracted sometimes. But the changes that I've saw have been good changes. I see that more animals are coming out. Animals that we haven't seen in a while are like appearing out of nowhere. The air seems to be a little bit fresher because there's not a lot of traffic now. So I think the pandemic ended up being a blessing in disguise. Like I think Earth really needed to take this big breath of did like a huge breath and just release, and that's what this lockdown was. Well, at least to me, that's what it was.
Okay, so somehow, yeah, I think I have to agree with you that it actually helped a lot in
Hmm.
our environment because well it, well during the lockdown, of course, just like what you have mentioned, we were able to somehow prevent the air pollution, of course, or the growing air pollution or the increase of air pollution, right? Even here in the
Absolutely.
Philippines, we notice it as well.
And then yeah, the skies were clearer.
Mhm.
There wasn't a lot of gray sky.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. It definitely took a toll on us mentally,
Mhm.
however. But the outcome of it all, at least for Mother Earth, was it was a beautiful outcome for her.
All right. So prior to pandemic, Destiny, what do you think was one of the most problem, or basically what was the basic or the top or the primary problem of our environment?
I would have to say our lack of humanity, and I say that because humanity and I think environment kind of coincide, considering that humans live on the earth. So if I
Mhm.
always say if we're unable to advocate for one another, defend each other, and stand up for each other, it's going to be extremely hard for us to believe that we're going to be able to advocate for the planet itself.
Mhm. And if I were to ask you, what should be the first action that we could do to somehow prevent, the abuse on our environment, on the Mother Earth?
I would say the first thing that we should do is ban single-use plastics, and that's something that my country has been taken seriously. We still have a long ways to go, but it's 2021 now. We really shouldn't have plastic straws anymore. We definitely shouldn't. I try to do at what I try to incorporate at my smoothie shop is to be biodegradable. So all the cups are biodegradable, the straws are biodegradable, and paper straws or encourage everyone to bring in their own cups, their own metal cups or aluminum cups. I think those small changes, specifically with plastic bags and single-use plastic, I think that's the biggest thing that we should be leaning toward, or getting rid of, leaning toward banishing.
Do you think that these kind of action could also help us prevent the global warming?
Oh, absolutely. It would
Mhm.
definitely help prevent global warming, and I feel like it's a topic that's not really taken seriously, but it should be. I feel like every title holders should be using their voice to amplify this issue because it is affecting us. And for that reason, we are more prone to natural disasters. And a lot of animals are going extinct because of the climate. And climates are warm, like places are warm, and they definitely shouldn't be. And what we do in our
Mhm.
everyday lives affects that, and how we're disposing of trash and what we're using, where the trash is going, that affects global warming.
Mhm. And you mentioned a while ago that people are not that we are not taking seriously on this. We aren't taking seriously what global warming is actually doing to us, right? So why do you think so that people is not or are not rather taking this seriously? That global warming is definitely happening right now.
I think people aren't taking it seriously, maybe because um, the people that they look up to or their influence and role models aren't speaking about it enough. So, yes, it's being taken seriously when it comes to scientists and when it comes to professionals. However, it's important to hear a message coming from someone you can relate to, coming from someone you look up to, and someone who looks like you. And that's why I was excited to be Miss Earth Belize, because I feel like I'm a great representation for the youth within my country, as well as the youth around the world. So if they can hear me talking about it and me explaining it to them, they can relate more to me than they can with someone else or someone who happens to be a professional in the industry. So by building leaders and giving them a platform to talk about these issues, I feel like that would help them take it more seriously.
Well, being appointed as Miss Belize, Miss Earth Belize already, and you're competing now for Miss Earth 2021. What action have you already taken for the prevention of global warming?
So what I do with my dive center, we always do beach cleanups. So by help making sure that the trash and plastics aren't going in the oceans, that
Mhm.
contributes, that helps with global warming. As well as buying sustainable meals and foods from our local vendors, that helps because it lowers our food miles. The food doesn't have to be driven 100 miles in order for us to eat them. That pollutes our air. So by supporting locally, I get to limit that amount of miles used to transport the food, and that
Mhm.
helps the environment. That helps global warming as well.
Oh, that's great, huh? Because well, we all know that Belize is basically um, a coastal country, right?
Yes.
It's a coastal country, and um, you reach in biodiversity, right?
Yeah. We
So, what
are.
have you been doing? What have you been doing for the um, shall I say? What have you been doing for the biodiversity for what's the term once again? I forgot the term. Um, for taking care of your biodiversity.
Yeah. Okay, so by taking care of my biodiversity, my father is actually a farmer. So I am a farmer's
Mhm.
daughter. So I get to see the animals and have that experience with them. So by just taking care of the animals that I have on my farm, as well as the other ones I see outside, or just making sure that people are like stopping if an animal is crossing. But also, I participated in a manatee research trip last year and with Clearwater Aquarium located in Florida, and that was to basically track the species, give them a tracking device, take some blood samples as well, and figure out their mating systems and some of their behaviors because manatees are an endangered species in my country, and they don't have any natural known predators except humans. So
Mhm.
my job was to go on the trip, learn more about the species, and then use my platform to advocate for them and to show the rest of the world that hey, this these beautiful, majestic animals are in danger. This is why they're in danger, and this is what we need to do to prevent this from happening.
Wow, that's so great. And how long have you been working on this?
So I did this last year, and the person who connected me to it, Jamal, he actually is in California right now. But we're going to be doing some live sessions as well, just to get more people aware of what's happening within our Caribbean seas and oceans.
So, if you will be given a chance to become the Miss Earth 2021, what would be the very first move, or what would be the very first action that you would like to take?
I definitely would want to come back to my country, of course. Considering Belize has never won Miss Earth and we haven't placed in an international pageant in years. So the first thing I want to do is come to my country and speak about coral restoration, and not only speak about it, but participate in it. Because our corals are bleaching, and they have a program here in which they replant the corals. And as a diver, I'm eligible to participate in that, and that's something that
Do you,
I would love to do.
do you already have any issues with your corals in Belize?
With what?
Do you have any issues with your corals in Belize right now?
Coral. Well, we do have some issues, and we have a bleaching issue, but that's mainly because of the sun as well. And we have an issue with lionfish. They're reproducing at a higher rate than any other fish, and it's damaging our coral reefs. So we are encouraging people to go lion fish hunt. I'm not sure
Mhm.
if you're familiar with the spearfishing sport.
Yes, absolutely, I am. Mhm.
Okay, so now they're making initiatives to reduce the amount of lionfish that are in our Caribbean Sea and in our coral. And another one is plastic. Usually we do a pretty good job at keeping our
Mhm.
corals and our waters clean. However, every now and then you will find some plastic.
Oh,
Mhm.
so so the lionfish are just like what I have mentioned earlier. Lionfish is actually um increasing right now in Belize.
Yeah, it is. It has
Mhm.
reached the increasing point. It's there. There's a
Mhm.
lot in here.
And they are causing right now the damage of the coral reefs in Belize right now.
They don't contribute to how do I'm
To
trying
the
to figure out
damage,
what was that.
to the damage.
Yeah, they do contribute to the damage, and they just reproduce at a higher rate, so it's harder, which means they're taking more of the food supply from the other animals as well.
Oh, I see. So there's no balance of food supply among the fish,
Yeah, it's
among the.
yeah,
Mm,
like their cycle.
yes, yes, yes. So what basically is you mentioned a while ago that the first action that you're taking in here is to do lionfish hunting. So um are you just taking the the mature ones, something like that? How would you identify the mature ones, by the way?
Well, usually the mature one, they're bigger in size. I did say though the first action that I would do would be coral restoration, and that would be replanting the corals. I have not participated in spearfishing as of yet. It's something that I would like to learn, but I'm not there as of yet. But when it comes to line
Mhm.
hunt fishing, it's very easy to spot a lionfish based off of their bright colors. They're beautiful. They're beautiful animals.
Hmm. You know what? Here in the Philippines, there are actually some artificial coral reefs,
Okay.
and yeah, some municipalities actually here in the Philippines so that are coastal as well, because Philippines is basically Pacific, surrounded by the Pacific and seas. Um, there are also some castles that are actually doing some artificial corals in order for them as well to protect the biodiversity in
Mhm.
yeah on the sea, especially for the protection of the fishes in on the seas or on the water. So I think um something like that could also be applied in Belize right now if you want
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm. Mm-mm. All right, thank you so much. So do we have any questions? Why these viewers are not asking questions?
Oh, and if anyone wants to follow me on my journey, my Instagram is Destiny E Wagner because I know someone
Yeah.
asked about my social media. So,
Yes, that's Shannon Paternoster. Paternoster is our father, right?
okay.
Shannon Paternoster. Anyways, so thank you so much, Shannon Paternoster. All right, so there you go. Let's continue. Um, what has been your government has been doing for the environment protection in Belize?
Yeah, so we have a lot of keys in Belize, which are basically small islands. So a lot of our islands are no plastic zones, which means absolutely no plastic is allowed on these islands because they're protected. We also have seasons. My government is pretty strict on enforcing seasons when it comes to lobster season or conch season. We make sure we have specific expiration dates. So after a certain date, you're no longer able to fish for die for conch or die for lobster. We also have no take zones, no fishing zones. So I think that's the government's doing a good job at protecting our keys and making sure that we're not overtaken or taking too much of a specific animal in the waters.
Hmm. And how about your forest protection? Do they Are you also working on forest protection, since I think you have high deforestation right now?
Yeah, we do. So Belize is rich in rainforest. We have beautiful rainforests. I think we could do a better job though when it comes to protecting the amount of trees that we're cutting a year. Specifically when it comes to coastal development, as well as large businesses and corporations using it to build. In my opinion, I don't think that anyone should be monetizing off the destruction of our planet. And unfortunately, not just in my country, but in other countries, that's what they've been doing.
Hmm. Yeah, because rainforest is actually very helpful as well to, yeah, to somehow protect us as well from
Hmm.
global warming actually,
Yeah.
because once our rainforest is already been damaged or somehow has been denuded, if I may say, right? So that could actually be very we are actually exposing ourselves from global warming all the more.
Yep. I
Hmm.
agree.
So, and if I think Brazil is one of the most has the biggest wait, rainforest, I believe.
Mhm. Okay. I did not know
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, the Amazonas, I think.
Oh, right, right, of course.
Mm-mm. Okay, so let me just try to check on this. So right now, Destiny, aside from what we have already mentioned, what are the other threats and challenges in the environment in Belize right now?
Our trash. I think pollution is such a huge issue here in Belize.
Mhm.
Um, I know, like having been a experienced traveler, I get to compare different countries to my country and what they're doing that works. I realize that specific, like let's say for instance in London, their trash cans, like their streets are to me very clean, almost the cleanest streets I've ever seen in my life. And I'm wondering what they're doing. How are they keeping their streets clean? And what can I do to apply this same thing in my country? Um, but I think here our trash cans aren't as appealing, as crazy as that sounds. Our trash cans are dirty, and people throw trash in there. Cool, like in their mindset is if I throw trash in there, cool. But if I don't throw trash in there, it's dirty. What's around it should be dirty as well. But there is an initiative happening in the village not too far away from me, and they're actually painting trash cans and making them pretty, making them eye appealing and painting them for the businesses and putting them in front of the businesses to encourage people to pick up their trash and dispose of them in the trash can. We have such a beautiful country, so it breaks my heart when there's trash literally not everywhere, but every other step you see something that could have easily been disposed of.
Yeah, that's great. One of the cleanest countries that I've also visited around Asia is actually Singapore. Even spitting is actually prohibited. So I believe one ways of how they do that, they promulgate that kind of uh, I mean discipline, is by promulgating rather
Mhm.
by in the law. So they have a law that whenever that you are throwing trash to everywhere, that you have to fine, as in
Mhm.
I mean a lot. You have to fine a lot. So I think fines can definitely help to discipline people.
Yeah, I agree. We have some similar laws here as well. However, they're not as enforced as they should be. And I think that's why people have just gotten used to it because we haven't really been enforcing the littering.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk about your advocacy. So you have already mentioned that you've been working actually for your advocacy, and a part of it is basically you are a scuba diver, and that's already part of your advocacy. So, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, of course. Like I said previously, scuba diving, I was able to see firsthand of how our actions affect our biodiversity. So I definitely wanted to use Miss Earth platform to spread awareness of marine conservation. But marine conservation is just such a broad term because there's so much that goes into marine conservation that can be focused on, such as our coral reefs, such as our biodiversity, like the animals within there are no fishing zones. Aside from my marine conservation advocacy, though, I do have a nonprofit here in Belize that focuses specifically on children within the villages and providing them with sustainable meals and scholarships for them to help continue their education. So those are the two main things that I advocate for. But I've had my nonprofit with my mom and my family for the past 10 years. So that's something that I've been doing for a while now.
Hmm. And I think that's really it's really impressive that you've been doing that for 10 years already. Especially, I think this is the one that you mentioned earlier, wherein you are feeding some kids, some children,
Mhm.
and you are supporting these children as well, not only by food but of course with education, right?
Yes.
Now, how can you somehow um, not differentiate, but I mean mix up the marine diversity advocacy with this. I mean, with your family advocacy.
Yeah, definitely. I've actually been working on a couple ways to combine the two because being a leader within my communities and the villages and the children that I work with, and being a scuba diver, I am able to educate them on marine conservation, and I am able to talk to them about the importance of disposing trash properly. So I will actually be going there this Sunday, and I am going to be talking to them about the importance of saving our environment as well. So I think I can use them both. So not only will I be able to help them out with the resources that they need, maybe school supplies or toys. But we are doing a feeding program this Sunday, and I will be able to talk to them about it within the same setting as well. So I feel like they are able to combine. And after we usually eat from our feeding program, we usually always go swimming in the Caribbean Sea.
Mhm.
So it just combines to be a lover of the water in Belize. It just to be surrounded by the color blue, it just makes sense that we become aware of what's happening in our seas and our oceans.
Oh, that's really very sweet of you. You know, at least you already have the foundation, what
Mhm.
you do, and how to work hand in hand with your family advocacy, with your personal advocacy, which is marine diversity, marine protection, rather. Right?
Mhm.
So, if you are to ask the government some help for your advocacy, what would it be and why?
I would start with meals. I think that a lot of children in the villages are often neglected when it comes to assistance from our government. Usually, the children who live in the cities or the major cities, they are more prone to get certain scholarships or resources. And I live in the furthest district in Belize, the Toledo district, and it's often referred to as the forgotten district. And it developed that reputation because for years my district has not been able to get the same amount of resources compared to the other districts because it's not necessarily a tourist destination. But regardless of that, the government's job is to ensure and protect and to look out for everybody, not just certain districts. So what I would ask the government for is assistance, specifically for our children. Our children are going to schools and their schools aren't even painted. Some of the children don't even have chairs to sit in, and they struggle to figure out like where their next meal will come from, a healthy meal will come from. So that's what I would ask them for, not for anything for my personal interest, but for our kids, they're our next generation, and they're looking at us. They're watching every single thing that we're doing. They're observing the choices that we're making, and we should be prioritizing them in every single choice.
Exactly, exactly. I can see that because well, just like what we keep on telling children, the children is basically our future,
Hmm.
and they're definitely the ones taking care of the environment as well as we grow old, right? So yeah, I
Absolutely.
think so that the government would really have to somehow invest for the children as well,
Hmm.
especially because they are basically what we are actually they are actually our hope for the future.
I agree.
Mhm. All right, thank you so much. So let's move on to our second challenge. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
By the way, so let me just try to open this up for you. Okay, there you go. All right, so let me just share it to you. Mhm. There you go. Okay, can you see that on your end?
Yes, I can. Ooh.
All right, so it's pick a box, right? So there
Okay.
you go. It's a pick a box. So these actually are six six mystery boxes. You can
Mhm.
find actually six mystery boxes on that. So each mystery box each mystery box has a corresponding question behind it, and these questions are actually the winning the question and answer given to the top four of Miss Earth from the previous years.
Okay. This
Would
is.
that be fine with you?
You got to send me this after.
All right, so which one would you like to open first?
I'm gonna open number 6.
Number six. So there you go.
Mhm.
Can you see that? Oh, just one moment. Let me just remove that logo. Okay, there you go. Oh,
Okay.
I'm
If you
sorry.
would be elected Miss Earth 2015 and you were given the chance to speak to President Obama, what would you ask him regarding climate change? I would ask him what his thoughts are about climate change and what actions is he going to be taking to make sure that the USA, as well as its allies, are protected from this. Because right now it is we live in a world where people are thinking that climate change is a myth, and it's certainly not. And being in your powerful position, Mr. President Obama, you have the opportunity, you have the platform, and you have the voice to spread awareness of this topic and to change and make laws and regulations that benefit not only yourself but the rest of the world.
And you were in the States when the president was President Obama, right?
I remember I was a child when he first got elected in 2008, and I just remember my whole family crying because it was such a pivotal moment in US history.
Mm-mm. And this was 2015.
Yeah, so this is the
Mhm.
second term. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that answer. Okay, so what next? What number would you like to open next?
I'm going to open number 1.
Number one. All right. So there you go. So this was in 2014. What would you do, rather? What would you do as a winner to reverse the effects of global warming?
I would first ensure that we are just disposing of our trash properly. Again, global warming, like most environmental issues, are considered myths, and they're absolutely not myths. There's scientific evidence to prove that the temperatures around the world are increasing. Animals are going extinct. And in order for us to reverse this effect, there's nothing that I can do as an individual, but there is something that we can do together as a human population. And that is be more conscious. That is showing compassion to others and the animals that live within our environment, as well as reducing our single use plastics and protecting our marine life.
Wow, that's so great.
I'm
That's really
trying.
very
You
impressive. That's really very
put me on the
impressive because
spot. Friend, I'm
yeah,
watching. I'm watching.
that's why that's why I'm calling it. That's why I'm calling it a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. But this is great. I definitely want to get some more of these. This is awesome. A good studying tool allows me to think on my feet, and I like that.
All
All right.
right, thank you. So, so what would be the next box that you would like to open?
Am I going through all of the boxes?
Oh, this is gonna be the last one.
Okay. I'm gonna go with box number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
All right. So this was in 2019. The Paris Agreement on Climate Change is a historic international deal that seeks to limit this 2016 rather that to limit global warming to below 1.5 degrees centigrade. If you are selected as Miss Earth 2016, or should it be 2021, what would be your program to protect Mother Earth from climate change?
The program that I would use would definitely be a custom one because there's so many things that can we can do to contribute to protect our planet and specifically to um, reduce climate change, reduce the likelihood of it happening. As an open water scuba diver, I think I would definitely want to focus on marine conservation because a lot of our animals and our biodiversity come from there. We get our oxygen from there as well as our food. So by focusing on our coral reefs, we are able to reduce climate change because if our reefs are healthy and steady, the likelihood of having a natural disaster definitely decreases. I would also want to focus on pollution and sustainability. There is no reason why we should not be supporting our local farmers as well as our local vendors as well. We should lower our food mileage and be more conscious of what we're wearing, such as fast fashion. There's a lot of programs that can be combined together to reduce climate change. And I think that when we team up together and we combine these programs, that's when we'll see the best effect.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you that when we combine all our efforts together, just like what Miss Earth 2017 mentioned, our micro efforts will definitely become a macro efforts when we are working together.
Yes, agreed.
hmm
I like this.
All right, so yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
All right, I definitely appreciate this interview, this conversation of ours. Destiny, and yeah, thank you so much for participating with my challenges with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I definitely appreciate it. Send me those though. I definitely love that challenge.
Yeah, I can send you more if you want to.
I know I absolutely love it. I was not expecting that, but I do love it. I do love it.
Mhm. All right, thank you so much, but Destiny, by the way. And Destiny, would you like to give any message to anyone you would like to address to? Hi, Destiny. Hello, Destiny. Oh.
Okay, there we are.
Mm-mm. All right, so Destiny, would you like to give any message to anyone you would like to address to? And of course, you may also promote your projects, your social media platforms, and your candidates for Miss Earth 2021.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely want to first and foremost thank my beautiful country, Belize. It's an honor to represent you, and I would do it again and again and again if given the opportunity. Also, want to thank my dive center, Splash Dive Center, located in Placencia. They've been nothing short of amazing. My production team, Nick, as well as Ignite, located in Belize City with Carlo and Jemai. Love you guys. Couldn't have done it without you. And my parents, love Sadie and Joe, the biggest characters that I know. Um, love them to death. And my social media channels, if anyone would like to follow me, I am Destiny Wagner on Facebook and then Destiny E. Wagner on Instagram.
Well, what about your YouTube channel? Do you have any YouTube channel?
I think I may have had one. I'm not too active on it. I know I used to do some acting, apply for some acting stuff, back, a few years ago. So I think I might have a YouTube channel, but I definitely want to get started again. So in the event that I do start one, it will be. Oh, I do actually have one. Sorry, I believe it's Destiny E. Wagner as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, we will definitely follow you, Destiny, on all your social media platforms. And to all our viewers as well, please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Pageant Philippines, and of course, like and follow our Facebook page, Pageant Philippines. We are also on Instagram, TikTok, and even on Twitter. So, Pageant Philippines across all social media platforms. Thank you so much for staying with us for
Yeah.
more than an hour, or actually, it's just an hour. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for staying with us. I really had a great time with you, Destiny, and thank you so much for your organization, for Miss Earth Belize organization, for allowing us to make this happen as well. Thank you for your time, and we are very much honored and grateful to have you gracing our live sessions for tonight.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you again for extending the invitation.
All right, so we are very much honored again, just like what I have mentioned, and grateful for you. Have a great night, everyone, and have a great day to you, um, Destiny. And looking forward to have you once again here after Miss Earth. All right, hoping
Yeah.
to see you getting crowned. All
Thank
right,
you. Have a good night, everybody. Peace and love.
have
Mwah.
a great night, everyone. God bless you all, and bye. See you once again on our next episode. Bye bye.